Hey, my name's Mr. X, and I love to buy shit I don't need, specifically collectibles, comic books, autographed memorabilia, and of course, high-end statues. Now, people ask me all the time, how many statues do you actually have in your collection? Now, I've been afraid to answer that in case Mrs. X watched this. And I brought that up to her the other day, and she goes, you know, dear, I can count. So I guess it doesn't matter if we make a video about it. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we're giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Extreme channel. My name is Mr. X. Today I wanted to do a video that has a few different contexts behind it besides what I said in the intro. Another context behind it is I recently, well, if 18 months ago is recently, said I'm going to retire, and I've slowly been weaning off my collection. I do know at one time I had over 500 statues either here, in my office, or on order. For the last 18 months, I've been selling 20 to 30 statues per month, and you can do the math on that, hopefully. If not, as I would have told my math teacher growing up, you're not always going to have a calculator on you. Actually, I don't have my phone on me right now. You get the joke. Now, another thing's been happening these last 18 months is my pre-order list has actually been dwindling. So if you're newer to collecting, then you don't know that when you order a brand new statue after it's revealed, it takes anywhere from 6 months to 3+ years to actually receive said statue. So you really have to kind of plan in advance, and you always have a number of pre-orders, a number of statues you currently own, and some you're selling. And when you have 3 or 4, it's not a big deal, but when you have hundreds, it gets a little confusing. Now, I do know how many statues I have simply for the fact that I keep a huge, elaborate spreadsheet on steroids, not only to track pricing, but for insurance purposes and a whole gambit of other things. But I decided I want to see what I have left coming in because I've kind of been dwindling down that pre-order list that at one time was over 200 pieces. Now, I'm not going to cover what else I have coming in today. I'm going to do that on a future video, so make sure you not only like this video, but you sub to the channel and hit that bell notification. But I thought it pertinent to actually... Is that the right word? I thought it necessary to actually look at what I currently have in the collection. So I broke it down and categorized everything. Now really quick, as a disclaimer, everything I'm going to go over is as of today. It frankly will probably change tomorrow. But these are things that are actually currently in my home. Because if you remember, I got rid of over 150 statues at my office just less than a year ago. So first thing I want to talk about is autographed memorabilia. Which, if you remember, that was one of the things that actually got me into collecting high-end statues. How many pieces of autographed memorabilia do you have? It's not a ton. First, I have 14 sports autographed memorabilia. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these pieces have more than one signature on them. But 14 different pieces, from a Michael Jordan jersey, a Muhammad Ali glove, all the signatures from the 2015 Super Bowl Broncos. So a lot of stuff like that. Also, actually, in this room, you may see it on videos sometimes, I have 13 music autograph stuff, like a Michael Jackson guitar, an Eminem LP, and more. Then when it actually comes to film, I have 33 different items. And again, a lot of them are like collages. Most actually have more than one signature on it from all of my favorite movies and television shows. Now, what's the value on all this stuff? Well, as you guys know, an autograph might be worth $100. It could be worth $5,000. Some of the autograph stuff I have is $5,000 to $10,000 for each piece. And then again, I probably have some that you could probably get for $100 or $200. Of course, if the person who autographs it dies soon, that elevates the money even more. I also have a number of comic slabs that are CGC rated. So I have 135 of those. Again, that number moves almost on a daily basis, whether I give one away, sell it with the statue, or get a new one in. In the same way, I think the most expensive one I have is about $6,000 or $7,000. And I have some you could probably get for $50 that I just personally like, or maybe they go with the statue. So then it comes to what statues do I currently have? And I could just give you a number, but this would be a very short video. So I actually broken into categories, and when we go over my pre-order list in a few weeks, we're going to use the same exact categories. So first, I wanted to start off with my favorite character, Silver Surfer. I actually have 12 different Silver Surfer statues. Now that's going to change this month because at the end of this month, I'm actually selling some of those. But currently own 12 different Silver Surfer statues, and then 3 Fantastic Four statues, which is weird because there's 4 people in the Fantastic Four, but I have one more on order, which we'll obviously talk about. Then really I had 7 different people that were kind of enemies of the Fantastic Four and or Silver Surfer. So 7 fell into that category right there. And I will give you a total number at the end here. I have 17 different throne pieces currently here. You guys know I'm a huge throne fan. It actually used to be behind me. I have 18 1/3 scale DC comic pieces. So most of these, I think all of them but one, are actually from Prime One Studio, but I have 18 of those, and that number is going to change this month. I actually have like 6 or 7 more coming in. You guys know I have that one life-size Iron Man, and again, there's some on my pre-order list. And I have one other life-size, and just like the great Jabba the Hutt, one of my favorites in the collection is my life-size Han Solo.
Solo Thotuma Kechaya.
This is my only true life-size. We're going to talk about busts later, but full figures. I have 11 statues that fell into my nostalgic category. So like Calvin and Hobbes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, video games, stuff like that. 11 fell into there. 12 were movie or horror pieces. These are actually in my theater room. And again, this is changing a little bit. But these are all different scales as well. I have 1/3 scale, I think a 1/20th scale. There's going to be a life size coming this next month. 10 that fall into manga or even anime a little bit. Most of those are Berserk. One of those is actually One Punch Man, and I don't even have him on display at this time, so I got to figure that out. I just realized that as I'm filming this. Speaking of which, I wasn't planning on covering this, but how many do I have that are not on display? Actually, I had to pause to figure it out. So there are actually 5 statues, but those are all giveaways that you see at the beginning of the channel each time, waiting for you guys to sub so we can get there faster. And I have a number of ones that are on sale each month because I box them up before they go on sale. But the only ones I have in a box that I'm keeping are 2. And One Punch Man is one of those 2. So X-Men pieces right behind me, both heroes and villains, minus Wolverines. I actually have 24 X-Men pieces. And I threw Deadpool in there as well, even though I don't consider him an X-Men because he's kind of a one-off. Wolverines, I actually have 5 of those. 5 different Wolverine statues, which at one time I owned over 30. So definitely big cutting back there. I have 6 miscellaneous Marvel. Mostly like Kingpin, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, Morbius, stuff like that that doesn't really go with anything. 6 Hulk statues right now. And just so you know, Hulkbuster actually fell into that miscellaneous Marvel. I have 1 Spawn piece. I don't know how to categorize Spawn with anything else. It's still that Curse of the Spawn. It's the only one I'm probably ever going to have. I don't have any more on order. I do have 9 life-size DC busts. So these are specifically from the DCU or DC movies. They're all based off the actors who played that particular character. I have 10 1/3 scale DCU movie pieces. And this is also a collection that I have a bunch more coming in. So these are people specifically from the DC universe, again, portraying the actors, but they're in 1/3 scale. I have 12 different DC 1/4 scale comic pieces. And what's so hilarious about this is when it comes to comics, if you read the omnibuses I have about 20 of them, 18 are Marvel. But I really like a lot of the DC in statue form. I have all 5 of the J. Scott Campbell, or I should say Mrs. X has the J. Scott Campbell Disney princesses. And we do have the Queen, who's actually coming in the next month or 2, which I think will be pretty cool. And then last, but certainly not least, I have 18 from Venom storylines. So this may be like Mary Jane Venomized or Carnage, and of course Venom himself, and a ton more of these coming in as well, which we will go over in the future video. I almost forgot about the expensive-ass toy, this almost $2,000 Optimus Prime that actually transforms. So one expensive-ass toy. How much do these statues cost? Well, probably the cheapest one I have is $300-400, where the most expensive is probably about, excluding the life size, is probably around $4,000. But I'd say they average between $1,000 and $2,000 each. So how many of those do I actually have in the collection? That is a grand total today, the day I'm filming this, for 187 statues. Now, what I really want to do is 2 things. Actually, well, there's about 50 things I want to do, but right now I want to do 3 things. Number 1, I want to do that video of what else do I have coming in these categories. So we have 187 now. How many more do we have coming in? 2, about a year from now, I want to do this video again and see what that 187 number is at, especially when we know how many more are supposedly coming in. And third, I want you to comment, how many do you have right now? Because let's be honest, 187 is not a flex. It's a sign of a huge, horrible addiction. But I love to interact with you guys, and I love you guys to have a chance to actually win a statue. That's why I want you to comment. So if you want to comment how big your collection is, comment how big something else you have is. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones, at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Hey, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it, guys. Kind of a fun video. Make sure to sub for that future video and just other content in general. Really exciting month in, this is May 2023. We're filming this, so make sure to stay tuned. I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourself.